Welcome, and thank you for your service.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
Yes. So tell us what you do, because I already got a taste of your energy and your food and your enthusiasm for food. So just tell us, exactly what your goals are with that platform and what you've been building with it.
Of course, definitely. Well, it all started with a phone call back in August, and we launched it immediately in October. And the goal is to introduce the world to Japanese cuisine and to America's food. And we started off with three housewives, and me being one of them. And we just sit around and talk about food. Isn't that kind of what normal housewives do?
Yeah, house fathers too.
So, well, I originally thought I was going to do one episode. That's it, because I'm busy. And it turned out that it became so popular. I was like, ooh, wow, there is a niche for this. And so we have completed about 6 more videos, and I counted it this morning. It has a total of 60,000 views worldwide.
Wow.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And watching your show and helping people discover their talent and how to market that. So I'm launching today. We're going to start off with a 10 minutes with the foodie, and I am a foodie. And before this project with Foodots and the 10 minutes with the foodie, I was on Google Maps. Every time I would eat at a restaurant, and if I liked the food, I would take pictures of it and make some compliments. Sometimes they're good compliments, and sometimes there's like, oh, not so good. Maybe the chef needs to go back to cooking school. So, well, from that program, I have over today 11 million views of my food.
Wow.
So that tells me I'm merging. I'm merging. Having more time now because of COVID, but I'm merging my talents with food, and my photography skills and my taste buds are all kind of coming in together now. And I see that. So thank you.
Wow, that's a beautiful thing. So you're trying to tie in your visuals with your connoisseurism for foods.
Yes. Yes.
And now, how are you going to build that into a business, a sustaining business? Because that's the big challenge, right? A lot of people are interested in hearing your opinion and getting your insight on different foods. Now, how are you going to make that a business, or how are you leveraging that interest into a business?
Currently, right now, I've signed up with various small entrepreneurial Facebook groups. And one of them was one for women, one for military veterans, and one for international. So I am doing the homework. I'm taking notes. I'm learning as much as I can, soak it up. But it's like the universe is telling me it's happening. It's slowly turning. It's happening for me. And you kind of know that because everything starts to fall in place.
Exactly. Yep. And now you're waking up.
But as far as monetizing it, that's where you come in, Evan. And I would like to pick your brain a little bit. How can I do this? How can I monetize this? Is it through sponsorships, or is it through private groups like membership fan club types, or just selling products? You tell me, Evan. Help me out here. Help me out.
Well, since you know your business the best, and you know what triggers the biggest interest, you have to kind of channel in on, are people paying more attention when you expose a good restaurant? Are they paying more attention when you expose a hidden gem on the grocery store shelf? Where do you really think your core audience is most interested when it comes to your visuals or your episodes?
They're interested, in my opinion, good or bad, they're interested in that and how I convey that to the general public. I have a background not only of the military, but as a park ranger. So I'm kind of used to standing up in public and introducing the National Park Service site to the public. And that's what I do with my food shows, that I stand in front of the restaurant or the supermarket or the product and talk about it, and talk about it from my heart. I'm not going to say anything really bad, but I'm just to say, hey, this may need improvement here and there. But that's what they're finding, that they wanted to know about me. What do you think about this, Cydonie? So that's what's going on right now from the fan base I have right now.
Okay, so your well, obviously your fan base is getting more engaged to you as a personality.
Yes.
But what is the catalyst? Because before that, you have to niche yourself in what you're talking about. You can't go out there talking about everything.
Right.
Do you think it's okay to stay on your lane, in your lane, with the Japanese cuisines, or do you feel there's a better niche that's more suitable to you and your audience?
I will stay on my regular show, Foodots, with the Japanese cuisine. But I would like to start launching my own show and focus on cuisine here in Connecticut. I think I told you before, I'm a transplant here, and I love Connecticut. I love the Four Seasons. I love the variety of restaurants. This is a multicultural state too. And plus you have water here compared to California. So I would like to focus on restaurants and products here in Connecticut.
Okay, so the only thing with that now, when you released an episode on a local establishment that you visited, did you get the same kind of reception of audience than when you did something that was maybe more towards your other show, which was more Japanese food based?
Because it's fairly new right now, within the past couple of days, that they're intrigued by me, because I'm not a local. I'm not someone who's born and raised here in Connecticut. And to have an outsider perspective of their restaurants or their foods or their products, it's kind of nice to know that, wow, Cydonie has some good skills here. She knows how to explain what she has in front of her. And I can do that visually or through verbally. So they're more or less interested in what I have to say.
Right. Now that's great. So there's two ways to go about it. So if you're really micro niching yourself to Connecticut, then quite honestly, the worldwide internet is not going to be a big fan of that, right? Because they can't visit those restaurants. Only people in your locality can visit that. So to be real honest with you, what that lane is more for something outside of the internet. It sounds like if you're going into that, you want to be more of a critique in the Connecticut region, it would actually make more sense for you to dive into one of the local newspapers and see if you can be a writer for one of the local papers, and start with the smaller guys and offer a free write-up, write something up on a local restaurant. And just being straight with you, that's very micro niche. It's very local.
Okay.
And there's that could be, that might be just the lane you go anyway, but it's not going to build that kind of following and sponsorships. And that's a real world thing that, quite honestly, that's great too, because you do want, the people that mostly succeed in the internet businesses have a real world success.
Right.
A lot of people can't just sprout out of nowhere out of the internet and really make money. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that, but it's not accurate. The biggest money makers on the internet are people that make a real impact in outside of the internet. So just to kind of reinforce that, go, make yourself a writer, for local papers. Hopefully it'll build up to something more, to a bigger paper in Connecticut.
Yeah.
But start with the smaller ones and just keep getting bigger and bigger as a local writer. And then your credibility actually on the internet will be bigger, because now you can use that on your resume. Like, hey, I'm an accredited writer and published writer. And it just gives you that real world stamp of approval. Whereas a lot of people on the internet are kind of self-proclaimed, and that doesn't hold a lot of weight.
I know.
You know? But I don't know. I think that's one lane you should definitely tackle, because that's some real world accreditation. And I think, I mean, I saw your show on the foods, on the Japanese foods. I like that. I also like when you brought up cool grocery store selections.
Yeah.
I think that's a great lane, because now you're talking sponsorships. Now you're talking monetizing when you're starting to talk about foods that are in grocery shops. I think that's the lane you should go, because you have a great energy and enthusiasm.
Yes.
And if you turn that onto a good product, I think, you'll almost be like a spokesperson for new products that come out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. Yes.
Yeah. And don't go after these big brands. When you dive into these little shops and you really like something that you never heard of, those are the ones you need to tackle first, because those are low bearing fruits. They're going to give you a shot. They're going to say, wow, she gave us such a warm, rating on our product.
Yes.
And they're attainable. Those small little boutique-y, food, products.
Right.
So I think that's your lane. I mean, kind of bringing attention to new products. Because everyone knows about everything that's out there already. Like, why do they want to hear about something they already, something big branded?
Right. That's true. Too.
And big brands don't need your help. They already spend millions, on TV and internet ads. So yeah, I think, this is my 2 cents is,
I'll take your 2 cents. I'll take it.
All right. Invest those 2 cents, and make it, a nickel, and then $5 and 50 grand. So yeah, I mean, I think, I like that lane. I mean, the Japanese cuisines are always cool, because, there's a growing Japanese probably audience in America.
Yes,
and
that's true. Yes.
That is very micro niche, but I think now more than ever, I think, due to COVID, and I think a lane of, exploiting new products that are great, exploiting deals, on newer products.
Yes.
And those will be kind of like giveaways to the big brands when you see like a cool brand that's really giving some good deals at, like Trader Joe's or wherever you shop.
Yes.
Those will be little morsels that, even though the big brands may not be giving you money right now, but when they see that, your little endorsement goes a long way, you could tackle that later. So, focus on the small brands, the ones that you can stand behind, and then reach out to them after you give your 2 cents and your critique and your stamp of approval on their product, and reach out and say, hey, look, I love your product. I had 20,000 listeners that now know that product is cool.
Right.
Let's work something out,
Oh.
Yes. And that's where the monetizing starts to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I like it.
And they're not going to give you $1 million. They may only say, you know what? Oh, the bad news, right?
Yes.
The bad news. Well, the bad news is still kind of good, because maybe they'll give you like $200 to $300.
Yeah.
But guess what? 300 times 10 products for that posting is $3,000.
Yes.
Right. So it adds up.
It
It adds up.
does. Oh,
Right.
wow. Evan, you're good.
I'm okay. I'm okay. So yeah, I mean that, these are just off the top of the head
Mhm.
thoughts that they come to me quick when they're obvious and I don't
Yes.
have to think too much. So that's a good thing.
Oh,
Um,
good.
yeah,
Yes.
you bring it out of me. You're
Oh, no.
yeah, that's how it works. Or I'd be dead silent. If you had nothing, I'd be like, oh, well, you're fun to talk to, and
Yes,
leave it
thank
at
you.
that.
Yes, you're the best. Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's it. To monetize, you gotta treat it like a business.
Okay.
You gotta be mindful of, you want to be organic like you are as far as picking out winners,
Yes.
and you still want to throw in some big brands if you really enjoy them,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people don't know about every product from a big brand either. You might turn them on to something, but
Right.
you also want to start, showing the big brands that, your voice means something even to them. And you're a veteran. And right now, I think it's important to support veterans.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank
So
you.
you do need to leverage that. I mean, veterans don't have it, so great. They serve the
Right.
country, and
Right.
they need help. So I think a lot of big brands, not a lot of them, but they'll give you an ear eventually if they see that you can really chat some great stuff about their product, and
Mm-hmm.
that's going to take time. That could take years, it could take months, depending on how quick your audience builds.
Okay.
But again, the smaller products, the boutique ones,
Yes.
that you could be a part of making a new, what I mean, like making or breaking a new product at some point.
Wow, that would be incredible.
Oh yeah, I mean, think
Yes.
about it. That kid with that rates the toys. I don't know his name, but he started like what, 5 years old, and now he's like making who knows how many millions a
Oh,
year
I know.
talking about a toy, right? So why not you talk about some food, right? Like
Yes, yes. Something that everybody can relate to.
that's right.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, that's my best advice. And
Mhm.
I don't know if you have any deeper questions or other questions
No,
revolving around
Evan,
that.
I'm ready to rock and roll here. I'm ready to take your advice and run the baton to me. Thank you.
No, that's great. And never forget that, you could start this on a shoestring, obviously, and it'll take longer. But if you
Oh,
have
yes.
money to invest, it's never a bad idea to put do some ads on YouTube, and place them along with other food related ads, and really hyper focus
Oh,
your ads. Right. So, money behind something always, when you put money into something like this, it'll fast track you.
mm,
It will typically generate a bigger audience quicker, which typically generates more money at some point. So, never be afraid
yes.
to invest in it. If you believe in it, if you have your heart
I
in it,
do. I sincerely do with all my heart.
yeah,
Yes, I
then you
do.
got to put some money in. Once you got that, that rhythm down with your episodes, and you feel confident,
Hmm.
that people all over would love them, then put some money into it. And I can tell you that it really works when you spend the money on, Google and YouTube. It really does. It pays
Yes.
off if you have a
Hmm.
viable product, a viable, episode. It really
Yes.
does, you
Yes.
know.
Yes. 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 Okay.
But
Definitely.
you're on the right track. You're linking up
That's
with
the first
other
step.
other
Oh, thank
like-minded
you.
heads. Yeah. So you're definitely there. You just gotta figure out the business first and then work your way into that, how to monetize. So you always got to be thinking, have your fun, be yourself, but you also
Yes.
have to be a business person too, you know.
Hmm.
You have to, because if you want to do this the
Yes.
rest of your life and you want to make a living at it, you got to create a business around
Yes.
it. you know?
I will. I will.
Yeah.
Starting today. Starts today. On President's Day.
Hey. Hey.
President Day.
That's right. You can start as the president of your own company for now.
Yes. Oh, you're the best, Evan. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for listening. Thank you.
Thank you for coming through. We love your energy, and I think you got something. So I'm rooting for you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Take care, Cydonie.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.
The Biz is here. The Biz is here.